My goal was to hit 7:30.
And we're recording. Is your mic on?
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the Basement of Champions. You're listening to Greg and Eric, podcast number 2.
On August 20th.
August 20th, 2013. It's a Tuesday night. A week ago, I sat down here with Kruger. Did you even notice that I did something with the basement?
Yeah,
looks a little different.
You moved a couple of things around.
Yeah, a couple things.
Yeah.
I put the Bruins up on the main wall.
I saw.
Out of respect.
To who?
The Bruins and all the hockey fans out there who are always bitching and moaning about how nobody appreciates the Bruins.
Well, the Bruins are big in the Dominican Republic. That's one of our favorite sports.
You're joking, right?
Clearly.
No, I was a little bored this weekend, and I moved some things around, and I had to clean. So I cleaned it up down here a little bit, and
yeah, the Manny pictures are gone. Oh, whoa, Manny's still up there.
Manny's still up there. Absolutely, you can't move Manny.
No.
One of my favorites of all time.
No World Series.
Released by the Rangers, by the way. I think on our last podcast, I was saying how he's going to replace Nelson Cruz when Nelson Cruz got suspended, and then he did get suspended, but they traded for Rios.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, what, 259 batting average in the minors doesn't cut it anymore? What's up with that?
Very disappointing. I think he could have done better in the majors. He's obviously not used to hitting minor league pitching. He's only used to hitting big league pitching, which would have made perfect sense for him to bring it up.
Yeah. I would have liked to see him back just for a few months, just this one last go-around.
Yeah, seeing him take a couple of leaks at Ranger Stadium and and going from there.
Somebody was talking with this whole A-Rod thing that's going on, and we'll get to him in a minute, but
what's going on with A-Rod?
We'll talk about it in a minute. The proposed trade back in 2003 off-season going into 2004.
Crazy.
Okay, Magglio Ordonez was going to go from the White Sox to the Red Sox.
Yep.
Rodriguez was going to go
to the Red Sox.
From Texas to Boston.
Nomar
was going to go to Chicago to the White Sox, not the Cubs.
Yep.
And then Lester and Manny were going to go to the Rangers. And somebody, I was at work today, riding with someone, a young guy, and he's like, imagine if that went through. Like, imagine if that happened.
How miserable we would have been.
Oh. I mean, he was the guy. Rodriguez was the guy to break all the Bonds' records, shatter the home run records. Holy crap, has that just, what has happened? Seriously, I don't know if I can hate the guy anymore because I don't feel bad for him one bit, but it's just like I'm worried for his mental health and for anybody who is, come on, man, let it go, because I know you got to, our opinions differ so bad on this.
Actually, we don't differ very much. I think via text or, the conversations that we've had, you may think that we are very far apart on the Rodriguez thing. I don't feel bad for the guy.
Did you say Rodriguez or Rodriguez? I thought you said Rodriguez.
I said Rodriguez.
Okay, because
I don't think he has taken any more roids than the other guys that were suspended. To be honest with you, I think that, and I'm going to say this very carefully, I think steroid use.
You can say it, man. This is an unfiltered podcast.
A bigger issue when A-Rod takes them than when anybody else takes them. Yes or no?
Why
what I mean is, A-Rod had always been the guy that we loved, the 5-tool player, before all this crap. I mean, when he was in Seattle, there was no talk about him being a jerk. There was no talk of him being a scumbag. There was no talk of being this proud guy, this cynical guy. There was none of that talk going on. He gets the big money in Texas. He then gets caught for taking steroids. There's that apology with Peter Gammons about, I only took steroids for this year and this year because of all the pressure that the new contract brought. So everybody was like, you know what, okay, there were a lot of guys doing it. Hopefully he's clean from here on out, and we hope he shatters Barry Bonds' record, all this, all that. Now, I think we all like to set ourselves for big disappointments. We put so much stock into one single player. And for me, for example, there's really not much of a difference between A-Rod and Ryan Braun. I have the same disrespect for either guy. If we were to look at real life stuff, A-Rod has not taken anybody down with him.
What do you mean that? Because I gotta stop you there.
From a moral standpoint, looking at the Ryan Braun reports and looking at the Rodriguez reports, yes, Rodriguez has done pretty much everything that you can possibly do wrong when an investigation is going on. Now, when you're speaking about Ryan Braun, for example, we saw how people felt about Melky Cabrera when he came back. He said, you know what? I don't want the batting title. Give it to the next guy behind me. Ryan Braun should have probably done that with the MVP title. Now, then he's going after a guy that just collects samples
Of urine?
Of urine and makes the guy pretty much lose his job, ruins the guy's reputation. That I have a bigger issue with. I don't have a big issue when a player like A-Rod takes on a big corporate Major League Baseball. At the end of the day, I don't care about the corporate. I don't care about the business side of things. I care about baseball. And there are too many things behind the scene in baseball that people aren't aware of, that I am not aware of, but that are being exposed right now through this A-Rod saga or scandal, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of things that are being exposed, and I think the league is having a hard time controlling the situation, and the longer they wait, the more bad exposure they will actually get.
You said you had a problem with Braun because he ruined the pea collector's career, pretty much, right? I think the guy got fired.
I mean, the guy got fired.
And he got put with the blame when he did nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Okay? The problem I have with A-Rod, and the report came out over the weekend, was his camp. Mm-hmm. And mind you, this is a grown man.
Yes.
A camp of people. Mm-hmm. Okay? Leaked who else was involved in the biogenesis scandal. One of which was one of his teammates.
Yes.
So, in a way, I think that is 10 times worse than what Braun did. Because you got to look at, and neither of us know what it's like to play on a professional baseball team.
No.
But these guys, they're in a union. They're a fraternity.
True.
And I think that kind of ties into what Dempster did, was A-Rod...
Which was the dumbest thing done all weekend.
Which we'll get to in a second. But A-Rod threw his brothers, and I'm putting my quotation fingers up, under the bus so he wouldn't look as bad. That's what he's doing now.
That's what was reported. Now, I'm looking at the entire scenario. I am not defending A-Rod. Yeah. Now, let me ask you, would you be surprised if that was a report manufactured by Major League Baseball?
No.
Exactly. Would you be surprised?
No, I mean, yes, I would be. Because I see, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you in the sense that the vibe I got through the text messages was, it's almost like people think MLB's out on this witch hunt to, like, use A-Rod as this scapegoat.
Oh no,
I
don't think they are. I don't think they are. And I think in all professional sports, when there's a scandal going on like this, there needs to be a face. In society in general, we need a face. The face of terrorism was Osama bin Laden. The face of, the Holocaust, you could say, was Adolf Hitler. The face of, all of the crap that's been going in the Middle East was Saddam Hussein years ago.
So why isn't this Ryan
So what
Braun?
I'm saying is...
Why isn't it Ryan Braun?
Why isn't it Ryan Braun? Because A-Rod's bigger than Ryan Braun.
Are you right now, you're saying A-Rod's bigger than Ryan Braun?
Yes.
Because he plays in New York?
Not only that, because he was supposed to be the guy.
But
he was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the guy that put baseball again, and people looked at it cleanly. People looked at it. Now, I have a problem with all professional sports because somehow Outside the Lines is looking into more A-Rod crap. When in reality, they should be looking at, okay, who are the basketball players on this list? Who are the NFL players on this list? And that's where I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but now I have a problem when, for example, the NBA has Tim Donaghy and they come out and say he's the only guy involved in gambling, and there's not one single sports channel, not one professional sports or thing looking into was he really the only one. Now there's not, and Outside the Line, there's no Jim Rome, there's no, what's that sports thing on HBO?
Real Sports.
Real Sports.
Or something?
There's no focus whatsoever into who are the other guys. Everybody just keeps on, and everybody keeps on saying, fans only care about baseball because of the stats. That's a lie. That's a lie. I think that's being pushed onto people. I would say about 75 to 90% of baseball fans today don't even know the stats in baseball to begin with. I think sportscasters, I think ESPN, I think they have a way of controlling what really gets put out there. And they're running with the whole A-Rod thing and making it A-Rod, A-Rod, A-Rod when there's a lot more to it.
This is a big deal. And here's what it boils down to, and I think I want to move on after saying this.
Well, clearly because you want to run away from the issue.
He cheated.
Yes, and I agree with you.
He cheated.
And I agree with you.
So let's turn this into a real-life example. And to get your job that you have now, you had to take a test.
Yes.
Okay. Did you cheat to pass the test?
No, I couldn't. They patted me down.
Okay. Well, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Whatever.
No, they patted me down, seriously.
Did they really?
Yeah, they pat you down, they check everything, and then they put you in this room with headphones and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, that's extreme then. But let's work with me here. Let's say somebody sitting next to you cheated, okay, and they got the job over you because you cheated, because they cheated, and you did it clean and you did it the right way. Wouldn't that make you mad?
No.
That wouldn't make you mad?
That would not make me mad.
You're just a different human being.
No, I'm not a human being.
I
was sitting next to Adam Merlo in chemistry class, first of all. And Adam probably will admit to this, that this was the stupidest thing he had ever done. Here we are sitting.
Sorry, Adam.
Sophomore year, I believe it was, or junior year. Junior year, I think. Sitting in chemistry class with Mr. Severin. We're getting ready for a chemistry vocabulary test. Adam decides that it's a good idea for him to take out his calculator. It was mind-boggling to me. When Adam takes out his calculator, there's a cheat sheet right behind the calculator, behind the cover. He's looking at it. Mr. Severin's heading in his direction and catches him cheating on the test. Now, that was one of the only times he got caught. But he was pretty much cheating on every single test. I was not. He was getting better grades than I was. He passed the class with better grades than I did. I passed the class with lower grades. But it didn't make me mad. That was the route that he decided to choose. That was the way he decided to go. And there's this nonsense about A-Rod leaking out the names. Please give me a break. The same way that A-Rod was trying to attain these documents.
Can't you picture him doing that, though? That's my point. Can't you, from what we've learned with Alex Rodriguez, the pictures of himself in the mirror for that Glamour magazine, the half-horse, half-man painting that he has above his bed, can't you picture Rodriguez leaking these names to take some of the heat off of himself? He's bringing a lawsuit against the Yankees, the team that's given him like $300 million.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean? Where's the respect?
The respect from who? From the team that said, you are injured, you can't play, and then he goes to another doctor?
You got that backwards. The team, Rodriguez is saying that he was hurt last year in the playoffs, and the Yankees overlooked it and let him play even though he was hurt.
And then this past year, what was going on? This year.
He had hip surgery.
And then this year, what was going on? This year, they would not clear him to play when he was ready to play.
They didn't want him to play because they knew all of this was coming down with the biogenesis, and they didn't want him on the field because they didn't want to pay him the rest of his contract.
Okay. But he could play.
So it's up to the team, but because of the fear
of a lawsuit. But he could play, though, is what I'm saying.
But they didn't want him to. He's not talking to Yankees management.
And management's not talking to him.
Because they're afraid whatever they say is going to be used in a lawsuit against them.
I know.
I'm yelling into this microphone right now. This is bothering me so much, and I think it's just a shame.
It is.
And everyone's looking terrible in it.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
I wish A-Rod was the only one looking bad in this entire thing, and I think that's where you're misjudging what I am saying. I wished A-Rod was the only guy that looked bad in this entire situation. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, the more this goes on and on and on, the worse baseball looks.
No, you couldn't be more wrong, because baseball is walking a fine line because they don't want to be sued. If it was their way, they suspended the guy for 211 games.
Exactly.
And
that's another thing. Should he have gotten 211 games?
He should have got a lifetime ban. You know what's
why?
And
that's the thing. You cannot have rules in place and then say, we're going to ban you for life. Because you know what? You're the highest paid guy. You're the guy that we counted on, yet you failed us. And I think baseball's letting that aspect of things get to them.
We're never going to agree on this.
Oh, no, we're agreeing to an extent. But what I'm saying is baseball does not have a problem with the guys that are just willing to say, yes, we cheated, we made a mistake. And that's perfectly fine. I'm on that boat. I think those guys get a little respect from me because they willing to say, you know what, yeah, we did it. You caught us. Move on. Now, I'm looking at it from what the rules in place are. The rules say that he can appeal. They can. And that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at it. If baseball for me would be the same without A-Rod as it is with him. I enjoy it just as much. To be honest with you, that last game, Red Sox-Yankees, was the most enjoyable game probably in the last 5 to 7 years.
I said that to somebody today. I said when A-Rod got hit, I said I got those goosebumps I used to get when the Yankees and Red Sox played.
Yes, and you know what was admirable? Believe it or not? The fact that A-Rod just walked down to first base.
I wouldn't use
any... not admirable, but you know what I'm saying. I know nobody wants to use any adjective that's positive towards A-Rod.
I don't. I think he's lost that right. I think he's lost the right as a professional baseball player to be cut any kind of slack or to be given any kind of...
And I agree with you, but what I'm saying is throughout his entire career, he's been questioned about how tough he is, how is he able to perform under pressure, and holy shit. I mean, right now, he has the world against him, and he has said, I don't care, and I'm going to try to prove to you wrong. Now, whether he's going to do that or not, I could care less. I've never been a fan of the guy.
Here's the thing. If A-Rod had come out and said, you know what, I made a mistake, all right, I screwed up, all right, but under the union rules and under the league terms, I have every right to appeal, and I think the 211-game suspension is too harsh. So I'm going to appeal it. That's all he had to do.
And yeah, we would have made things better.
That's my point, is that's all he had to do was say, you know what, I screwed up. I got involved with something I should have. I'm sorry. I'm getting older. There's a lot of he doesn't have to go into that. But all he has to say is I screwed up, but this punishment is too hard. It's based off of nothing. I am appealing it.
I agree with you.
And that would have been it.
I agree with you.
Circus,
I don't think it would.
All brought on by him.
I don't think it's just him.
Moving on.
Now, I think he could have. This is really upset for you. This is really an emotional conversation.
This is leading into something else, which is a good topic.
But I think Ryan Braun should have the same approach, and I think people have a lot of respect for what you just said. Had A-Rod came out and said that, because I mean, look at it. Does anybody? I mean, we're talking about Andy Pettitte potentially being a Hall of Famer. Everybody forgot that he
came out and said, I was hurt. I wanted to come back and play sooner with my teammates. And that was it.
And that was it. And the thing is, he is likable. Yeah. So people are willing to do that. I think people say that A-Rod thinks that people love him. I think he knows that the majority of people don't like him. So he's constantly trying to beat people to the next step. I don't think he thinks, you know what, if I come out and say this, I think people will forgive me. I don't think he thinks that way. I think he said, you know what, people has always been against me from the get-go. The only way I can do this is by trying to beat whatever it is that they're saying against.
You know what league he belongs in? The WWE. He'd make a good wrestler.
I think if you ask me, I think he's addicted to drugs. I think he's addicted to performance-enhancing drugs. Because think about it. Think about a perfect scenario where talking about a guy that has made a lot of money. I mean, he's made around $348 million already in his career. Now, where I have a problem with the Yankees is, Eric, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he opted out of that contract? That's where I have a problem. That's why I have no sympathy whatsoever for the Yankees.
They should have walked away right there.
They should have walked away right then and there. Yep. Because you know what? As much as we like to sit here and put it on the player, all of these teams are aware of the guys that are on it and the guys that are not on it. Don't give me the shit that you don't know. Don't give me the crap that, oh, my God, we're surprised like everybody else. That's not true. You have team doctors. Those team doctors know what these guys are on. The teams are willing to take the big hit right now because that guy that's on something that cannot be detected yet he's bringing people into the seats. And by the time they actually get caught, they already have made so much damn money that they can afford for the guy to be caught. And then when the guy gets caught, the team wants to run away with it like they didn't even know. Let's look at the Texas Rangers, please. Where's Mark Teixeira, first of all? I mean, he's never been linked to anything, but I bet you,
everybody's been linked to something. Now, leading on to what makes me nervous about the other night, and we won't get into the Dempster thing, I think it lit a fire under the Yankees, and I am so scared that they're going to go on this monster run now. I think they won Sunday. They had yesterday off. They have a doubleheader today. They won the first game. A-Rod's going 3 for 4, hitting jacks. Ugh.
Get ready. Get ready because, I was a fan of Pedro because when he threw at you, he was going to hit you.
Dempster's throwing 90 miles per hour. I'm like, what is it? A-Rod just brushed that off.
You don't hit him. You sent your message on the first pitch. And the fourth pitch, I should say, was really foolish in my mind. Second inning, and then to make matters worse, they actually tie the game in that same inning. It was asinine. It was just mind-blowing that in the second inning you do that. And yes, we emotionally as Red Sox fans say, Dempster, true Bostonian, great, yada, yada, yada. That was dumb. That was stupid. That was one of the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time because, you know what? That was almost as dumb as A-Rod taking steroids again, probably. To basically wake up that team, the Yankees looked defeated by the second inning. It seemed like A-Rod got hit, and it goes to show you that at the end of the day, your teammates have your back.
Which is too bad.
Which is great to see.
Too bad.
Great to see.
It speaks volumes of the Yankees. It speaks volumes of those guys.
It speaks volumes of how they see it versus how everyone else sees it.
Just wait. We're gonna have podcast number 17 in 4 months.
When you cheat for your team, I'm not saying that they applaud you, but you're cheating to win. You know how everybody has...
Stop.
No, I'm not going to stop.
Stop.
It's the truth.
Stop.
It's the truth.
Stop.
What do people think about... What? If we go to San Francisco today and ask people what they think about Barry Bonds, what are they going to say?
I don't know.
They love the guy.
I don't know.
They love the guy. You go to San Francisco, they love Barry Bonds.
How do you see the rest of the season playing out with the playoffs? Do you see the Yankees sneaking in?
As I told you in my first podcast, I think the Yankees... I didn't tell you that in my first podcast, that the Yankees are going to go on a big run, which I think they are going to now.
You think they're starting a run right now?
I think they are, and I think the acquisition of Soriano, I was having a conversation with my uncle, and he's always big about certain guys just playing really well under the lights when guys that feed off the attention... Soriano is one of those guys.
He loves it.
And I think the Yankees and I think the Red Sox should definitely go back to that sort of a scouting that they had in earlier years where there's guys that enjoy playing in front of 35, 40, 50,000 fans that enjoy playing on national television. It's not so much the guys that are, like the Adrian Gonzalez of the world. As you can see, Adrian Gonzalez, great player. But
the West Coast is a perfect fit for that guy.
But who really wants the attention? Puig, he wants all of the attention. He craves
What's
it.
What's his deal? He's losing it.
Huh?
You see him? He's
he kind of snapped.
65 games. I looked at this over the weekend. He
has struck out like...
I sent a text to Kruger. I said 65 games, 11 home runs, okay? 27 RBI. In 65 games, all right? I think he scored 47 runs, which is pretty good. I think that he brings a lot of excitement. He might be the worst base runner in baseball.
Clearly. He doesn't stop running until they tell him to. He doesn't stop running. I saw him get an infield hit, and it was a double the other day. Did you see that? Up the middle, shortstop almost stops the ball, the ball makes it literally 5 feet past the shortstop. Yeah. He gets to second base. But now, he doesn't ever hit the cutoff man. But, wow. Everybody should be afraid of the guy when they're going to third base, when they're going into second. There's not a more accurate arm.
Defensively, here's the thing. Does he have a little, Euclid in him? Does he have, not like body-wise, they're completely opposite. Puig's actually in good shape, but, he plays with reckless abandon. Is he going to play himself into like a surgery
I don't
in 2
think
years?
so because
He bangs off those walls, man.
the way that I see him, but he's a different animal than Euclid. I feel like Euclid needed to do that in order to show more talent than what he really had.
Gotcha.
I think this guy just plays like that because that's just his natural ability, and that's how he has always played the game. I think he'll gradually slow down because he'll understand how much more important he is to his team.
You think so? How old is he? I don't even know how old he is.
He's from Cuba, so he could really be 37,
Yeah.
and he looks like 24, 25. I don't know. I mean, Soriano's 38, and he still looks like the same guy that came into the league.
Really? Is Soriano a Hall of Famer?
Well, the neat thing about baseball is that sometimes they look at
I don't think he is, but his numbers
I don't
are
think
very
he
good.
is because he made the switch to the outfield.
Yeah.
If he had continued to play second base, is he a Hall of Famer? Clearly. I mean, clear Hall of Famer.
Going back to second
Now,
base.
he played in Japan for like 6 years, too, which is crazy.
Going back to second base, Robinson Cano's a free agent. I always just assumed he was going to be a Yankee.
I don't
for a
think he
very
will
long
now.
Time. I'm getting this weird, the Dodgers. I don't know their contract situation with like Kemp and Ethier. And
That's where he's going to go.
Crawford, but somebody brought it up. They were asked, "What's Cano going to do next year if you were his agent? Where does he sign?" And the guy said he's really only two teams would sign him, can afford to sign him: the Dodgers and the Yankees. Well, nobody else can. The Red Sox aren't. They've got Pedroia. They're not going to go sign him.
No.
The Rangers.
And never mind the Anaheim Angels. They can't really sign anybody anymore.
Maybe the Rangers, but they have Profar and Andrews.
No, I don't think they will. I think he's a perfect fit for LA.
He's got that laid back kind
of. He has that laid back. I think, in watching baseball in the Dominican Republic, he has that baseball ability to just make it look easy, which a lot of people here confuse as laziness.
Yep.
I think he gets to a lot of balls standing and just putting his glove down that other guys like a Pedroia need to dive for.
Defensively, offensively, Cano has a reputation for not really running out balls.
Oh, every Dominican player has that reputation, actually, of not running ground balls. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. I think there are certain players that look like that just because we always expect more from them. I think Cano's one of those guys where he can hit 30 home runs, you'd think, every year if you wanted to. With
the whole running out ball, the ground ball thing, is it almost a respect thing from the hitter? Say you hit a ground ball to second base. Is it almost like, all right, pitcher, you threw a good pitch, I grounded out, almost like tipping your cap, giving yourself up because, you know what I mean? Is it almost like a respect thing in the Dominican Republic? Like, no, and I, honest to God, I bring this up because softball, there are some Dominicans and Puerto Ricans that play softball, and they're always phenomenal. But it's always like when they hit a ground ball to you, they don't run it out. And it's almost like, are they mad because they ground it out?
Well, that's one of the reasons. And another thing is, I think that these guys, these Dominican baseball players...
And I just compared Major League Baseball to slow pitch softball, so...
that
work with that.
And I think that's a great comparison. And me, myself, being from the Dominican Republic, I think that a lot of these guys, they play baseball their entire life. Whereas here, a kid, plays his entire life, and it has always been, though, a business, even from where you are. I mean, you play Little League Baseball, and I'm sure there was probably some kind of payment that your parents had to make, some type of contribution that had to be made for you to play Little League Baseball. Mm-hmm. In the Dominican Republic, there is no such thing. For you to play organized baseball in the Dominican Republic, your family needs to have money. And we forget that a lot of these kids, by the time they're 16, they have probably never, Eric, ever played organized baseball. So you grow up here in America with the mentality of a coach telling you, hey, hustle, hey, run, what are you doing? Whereas in the Dominican Republic, until you're 16 years of age, there is no coach telling you to hustle. There is no coach telling you to run. You play baseball like if it was a game. And I think a lot of the baseball players that come up, it's hard for the first 12 years of their life, literally. They played baseball like it was just a game with nobody telling them that by hustling, is the way to go. They treat it as a game. And that's why we see a lot of guys joking around on the field, never really treating it as a business and actually struggling to see it as a business. That's where the difference is. I mean, most of these guys, when you go back, they're playing in front of my house. I mean, that's where I used to play. Now you have houses built there, but in certain neighborhoods, you just have little fields, literally man-made fields of these kids playing stickball.
You know, it's funny because my dad and I, we haven't done it in a while, but I'll pester my dad to come and hit me some ground balls because I'm still playing softball, and I hate the feeling of not being prepared for when a ball's coming at me. I don't want to look like an idiot. I want to stop it. So we woke up real early Saturday morning, and we used to go down to Logan Field on Mill Street.
Yeah, I remember you hit a couple home runs there.
But on the softball field.
Yeah, on the softball field.
But they redid the softball field, flipped it around. It's brand new, okay? But it's funny because we had to find a new field, and we got to talking, and he made a comment how there are tons of fields for us to play on, but they're all locked up. And I was like, you know what? I go, holy crap. I go, that's a good point. My dad actually has some really good sports takes for a guy who, I think he follows sports more for me, if that makes any sense, to, talk about it and stuff. But he made the comment, and I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense. And there's been a lot of talk lately of baseball not being popular, the games being too long. And I guess so in the Dominican, it's more or less, we're going to make a field, we're going to play. In America, it's like, well, that field's locked up. Let's go play basketball. Let's go play lacrosse.
I mean, I've lived here in Worcester pretty much most of my life now. And it saddens me. Now I've just gotten used to it. For example, I live right off Massasoit. There's a big park right off Blythewood. There's a baseball field there. You may see 1-2 kids on the weekend hit balls there. Yeah. If that field were in my hometown in the Dominican Republic, it'd be packed every single day. And there would be no need for a coach. I mean, the umpires would literally be grandma or the lady that just happens to be walking by. The people that were running to the gym, they might stop and just join, and we may play together. And that's how it is. And I think baseball brings a lot of cultures together. And the nice thing about baseball is, and what makes baseball really nice, with the crazy handshakes. I know Kruger's not a big fan, and you might not be a big fan.
Kruger's a traditionalist.
But he's a traditionalist because he's accustomed to seeing that. For example, when I was younger, when I was 7, 8, 9 years of age, and I was going to these little baseball games, and in the Dominican Republic, it was just a baseball game. You know what I mean? There weren't so many rules. So, I mean, guys just enjoy it. And that's what literally I think just seems different. And maybe that's why teams like the Yankees, teams like the Red Sox need to focus more, and this may sound a little weird, on foreign players. And it's because although foreign players treat baseball like a game, they love the spotlight. Because baseball, when it comes down to being a serious game in the Dominican Republic, like when Los Tigres del Licey are playing against Las Águilas Cibaeñas in the Dominican Republic, that's bigger than Red Sox Yankees in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? And those guys love it. They enjoy it. Heck, A-Rod tried to play in the Dominican Republic for 1 year, and he sucked. That's how competitive and how serious it is out there. So, I mean, that's why guys like Soriano, guys like Tejada, they like baseball as much as they do.
Completely forgot, but is your little girl, does she have a birthday coming up?
My girl Maya.
22nd?
Yeah, 22nd. She turns 5.
Holy cannoli.
It's crazy how
Happy
fast.
Happy birthday to Maya.
Thank you.
Yeah. Luckily, she took after her mother, not her father, so she's a pretty girl.
She's a very smart girl because she took after her dad's side of the brain.
She is very smart, huh?
She's incredibly smart. Now, she gets a free tour of Fenway.
Yeah, I thought you did. You haven't done that yet?
No.
When she turns 5.
When she turns 5, she gets a free tour of Fenway. The first little hoodie that they put on the hospital was a, Red Sox fan. The first little onesie thing they put on, Red Sox fan. So it was really nice. I have the bag. I have the certificate at home. Just have to call it in and schedule it. Can't wait because she's been wanting to do it. So can't believe it's gone so fast. She's growing up too damn fast. I'm already thinking, what am I going to do with the kids that Archie's going to school with? It's a scary situation.
You're going to have to lock the doors to keep the boys away, man. You're going to have to.
No, I have 2 machine guns to the top of my chimney. I have an no trespassing sign, so if they trespass, it ain't my fault.
You were talking, and I'm like, August 20th. I'm like, as you get older, your dates, I try to remember as many dates as possible, but I'm like, something
happened.
Are you guys having a party this weekend? Is that?
We're planning like a little small get-together. You're more than welcome. Obviously, you're part of the family. We don't do invitation. What do you mean, no? You can't go? You're doing something on Saturday? Who's getting married? What bachelor party do you have to go to?
I have to go back to Saco River.
Why?
Sit in the woods.
What is? Oh,
we're doing it over again.
Oh, okay. Is this the bachelor party that I was not invited to?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Just white people.
Hey, I should go as a hunter and shoot you as a deer.
Real quick. Instant replay in baseball. What are your thoughts? Does it make the game better?
It makes the game better, but I think it's how they have it right now for home runs. It's pathetic. I think somebody should be on a booth. I think one umpire should have a headset. And I honestly think that the umpires, all of them, go into this little room somewhere because I think baseball fears that one umpire can mishear what the possible decision could be. That's the only rational reason that I could have. Because, I mean, if you're the crew chief, someone up there should just be willing to say, hey, by the way, that was a home run. Oh, okay, home run. And when people say, oh, the game would be longer, you know what makes the game longer? When the manager needs to come out and argue the call. That would actually not be taking place if you had a replay. So for people to say it's going to only extend the game, that's BS. Because what extends the game is the managers actually arguing these bad calls that are being made. So if you have the instant replay, I think it takes care of a lot of things.
What about the whole flag thing? Are they going to literally throw flags? Like red flags like football?
That would be pathetic.
And it just seems like if a pitcher's out there throwing a no-hitter, or if a pitcher's out there and he's retired 12 in a row.
You mean like when that umpire kicked out Persinski there?
Yeah.
When Yu Darvish had a no-hitter going into the 7th?
Yeah, but I mean, as a manager, couldn't you just throw the red flag and just to screw things up and mess with something? Because the pitcher's going to be standing on the mound while they're reviewing something.
That I don't agree with. I think it should be on scoring plays.
Okay, I agree with that.
And home runs. I don't think you're going to all of a sudden start going crazy over things. Now, I do think, like, for example, like the Galarraga incident a couple of years ago now already.
Yeah.
With Joyce and Galarraga in that perfect game that he threw. I think the same way they go back typically if a guy scored on an error and they reverse it, I wouldn't mind if baseball takes that approach. In that sense. In that game...
Like after the game's over, they take away a run?
No, because there was no run scored.
No, I know.
It was only that hit. I think it would be nice if baseball said, you know what, that was out, we're going to remove that hit, and that guy threw a perfect game. I think that's a scenario that I would have no problem with. No problem.
I think it with baseball, too, the traditionalists, you take away the moment. I agree with you, and I wouldn't mind it, but you take the baseball part of it is enjoying the moment while it happens. So what are you going to, like, get the no-hitter while you're in the team hotel, and then your players come and you dance around your hotel and dump ice water on each other?
No, like, but it's nice for that player to say 10 years after he retires,
yeah,
I pitched a no-hitter. He's able to tell his kids. So if we're talking from a tradition standpoint, baseball's a sport that you want to be able to tell your kids about so they can tell their grandkids. It would be nice, because at the end of the day, we would forget that, oh, my God, I allowed one hit in that game. At the end of the day, they would remember, you know what, I had a no-hitter, and they can pass it on and share the controversy. But at the end, I don't know.
It's almost football season, so we have to talk about one football topic.
All right.
I have a list here, but I just want to hit on this one thing. Tim Tebow, he was 1 for 7 the other night.
Minus passing, 1 yard?
Negative 1 yard with 1 interception, I believe.
Yep.
I think he rushed for like 30-something yards.
34, I think it was.
Is he, and I put this in capital letters and underlined it, is he the worst quarterback in league history?
Probably.
I'm dead serious. Like, I know it's...
Now, this is the thing.
Why is he in the league?
Because he's a leader.
Yeah, but here's...
He's influential. He puts people in the seats. Could it be one of these craft ideas? I always think the business side of things. Sorry.
I'll think the business side of things, too. Are you going to sell? I don't think the business side of things comes into play with the Patriots.
He beat the Steelers to go to the playoffs.
I know, but he
sucks. I know. He sucks.
I used to pull for Tebow, but then
He's
literally
horrible.
after Friday night, I was like, man. But this is what he does, and there was a write-up online. I forget what paper it was, but I don't know football. But the quarterback, you set up a passing play. You've got, 4 different options? You have option 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You go through your reads.
Okay, he doesn't do that. He
looks directly at the guy.
When they break that huddle and he's getting ready to get the ball, he knows. He looks at somebody and he isn't changing, man. So he will have. But here's the thing that gets me is the guy he's locked on will be open, and he won't throw it. And then you've got 3 other guys doing jumping jacks near the sideline, going, "Hey, dude, throw me the ball." And he's running around in circles or gaining 6, whatever it is.
What about when he decides to throw it to the guy and decides to bounce it?
Throw it at his ankles?
Yeah. That's what kills me.
It's not easy to throw football, trust me.
Oh,
man.
no, I tried this weekend, and it's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
But he has much bigger hands than I do.
Yeah, he's a professional. I've been a big Tebow supporter. I get the whole leader thing, but
I think it's done. I think this was the stop that proved to everyone if something was going to work, it was going to work here.
He's taking up a roster spot.
Now,
he's taking
let's
up
not
a
get
roster
carried
spot,
away.
Greg.
What? How many? 53 men? Is that what it is? He's the 53rd guy. Who's the 52nd, by the way?
Probably Ryan Mallett.
Who's 51st?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's nonsense.
Can I say another thing, too? The whole Tom Brady thing where he went down, hurt his knee, there's a helicopter on the field.
Oh, now he'll be listed day to day throughout the next 16 weeks.
But the Sports Hub, literally 10 minutes after it happened, I turned on the Sports Hub, and they were talking about how they should trade for Matt Flynn to be the quarterback because they don't have a good backup quarterback now. It, got out of control, but it got me to thinking, worst case scenario, Game 5 of the season, okay? Game 4, Brady goes down, blows out his knee. Do you know what I would do if I was the Patriots? I'd package a 3rd or 4th round pick, send it to Oakland, and get Matt Castle. Matt Flynn is the starter in Oakland. Okay,
I don't
think... excuse me, I'm sorry, not Oakland, Minnesota. I believe Matt Castle's in Minnesota. Well, but here's the thing, because you need somebody who knows the system, right?
I think, depending 5th week of the season, let's say the Patriots are 4-0 or 4-1.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give Ryan Mallett a try.
He's got a good arm.
Why not? You drafted him early enough. He's been here long enough, to know. And for them to bring and design the playbook around his needs rather than, okay, Matt, what was it that we used to do with you that we can do now? Let's not forget that this is not the same guys that Matt Castle was throwing to when he was here.
He did have Randy Moss and Wes Welker, right?
Yeah. Now, I couldn't name you 3 guys that play wide receiver.
Deion Brandt's still on the team, and if Adam or Dave are listening to this, they'll probably get mad because I don't know that. But is Deion Brandt still on the team?
No, he is not. He's not on the team.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain. He'll make it in week 8.
Really?
But yeah, he's not on the team right now.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, do you want to say one more thing?
Did you? No, okay, never mind.
No, you can say it, man.
Good,
it's cool. It's an open mic.
No, I'm good.
You're live.
Nah,
You're on the air.
I know we're live. That's
you told me you wanted to do 30 minutes, and we're at 45 right now, so we might as well just finish the 15, right?
Well, my wife thinks I'm at work still.
Okay.
She has no idea that I'm doing a podcast right now. She thinks I'm making money. She has not texted me, which is weird.
This could lead to money someday.
Not someday. I think by next year will be big hits. I think all of a sudden we're going to start putting some advertisements on YouTube, which we're going to get royalties for. I think we're ready.
I think we got 2 views on the YouTube YouTube channel. So
well, we're about to get more.
This word is spreading. So here's the other thing I want to touch on. Big breaking news today. World of sports. My favorite sport in the whole entire world. Orange ball. They call it basketball. Okay?
That's your favorite sport of all time?
I would put the Celtics above the Red Sox and Pats for me, and the Bruins.
Oh yeah, you kind of look like Larry Bird.
I love basketball. EEI. They lost the Celtics today.
To the Sports Hub?
No, the Celtics and EEI could not come to agreement on a contract extension.
Wow.
Starting this season, they're done. It's not like after the upcoming season. No, this season now, kaput. So as of right this second,
so Grandy and Maxwell,
I don't know.
Wow.
Now, it got me to thinking, and we've talked about this. We've talked about this with the Celtics and how the team. Everyone's writing these guys out, and ESPN experts. I'm not giving up on them. I'm not jumping off yet. The ESPN so-called experts said they're going to win 30 games or less, and I see them sneaking into the playoffs. I'm sorry, I do. I do. But now, not only are fans and media jumping players, coaches leaving this team, the radio station was like, you guys suck. See you later. They don't have a home. Nobody can listen to their games.
That's sad.
They've become like the Bobcats.
You know what I like about the whole thing is?
Yeah.
What I like about it is you're going to get a lot, when I'm watching the Celtics on TV, we went to a game when I got engaged several years ago.
Yep.
And I remember us being pretty much in the last seat.
We were in the last
center court, though.
Yeah, we were center court.
Last seat.
We'll just tell people we were center court. Our backs were against the wall, the very last row in the building.
But
literally,
the nice thing about it was you don't get to see these young kids and young girls on their iPhone while the game is going on. They're now being purged out. We can probably attend some games.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
I think it'll be great. I like seeing teams going through. It was great watching Garnett. It was great watching Paul Pierce. It was great watching Ray Allen. But you know what? I was watching them before all that happened. Yeah. And it allowed me to appreciate moments like the Garnett and Pierce years even more. So I think this phase that we're going through is going to allow me to appreciate them even more when it comes by again, because I know how enjoyable it can be. So I'm not concerned. I'll still watch. I'm sure we can listen to them somewhere. I mean,
in all seriousness, and I was talking to Dave earlier about where they could end up, and
96.1 with Delilah?
No, not quite. I was thinking 94.5.
Romero?
Jammin'. Or 96.9, Hot 96.9. And I'm not saying Romero or Baltazar have to do the game.
Oh, God, no.
No, Grandy and Max would still do them. But why not plug, if you're the Celtics, and you've got to, now's the time to get the young crowd into the game. So why not, on an FM station that comes in everywhere, you tune in to listen to some music, and it's a basketball game.
Now, you know what's scary, Eric? Maybe it has nothing to do with the Celtics. I mean, EEI in the last few years have actually been on the decline.
Wolf got canned last week.
I think it says more about them, maybe, than it does against the Celtics. I mean, let's sit back and think for a minute. The Sports Hub, they took half of the fan base at the very least in the last few years. And it's nice to see that a sports town can have two successful sports radios. But now I think it says more about EEI, because think about it. People are now not going to tune in. They're going to tune in even less.
I like listening to Grandy and Max. And I hope whoever picks up these games keeps these guys, because I love Maxwell.
I love Maxwell as well.
Sean Grandy. It would be funny if Grandy went to Brooklyn, because I think Grandy was in Minnesota with KG.
Oh,
then
God.
KG came over and Grandy came over.
That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be pretty funny? Yeah, I don't know.
I want to go to that game now, that being said. I want to go to the game when the Nets come here. I really do.
Can I ask you a question, though? It's late January. What are the odds that KG and Pierce are healthy and playing in late January because I actually saw, like, I don't think single game tickets are on sale yet.
Nope.
But I was looking through their schedule the other day, and I'm like, they should have set that game up for like mid-November because I don't think Pearson Cage. I'm sorry, I don't.
They will be. I don't
think so, man.
I think people have underestimated how healthy Paul Pierce has actually been throughout his entire
That's
career.
my point. Is he's been healthy and
and I think that he'll play less minutes this year. I think Garnett will play less minutes. I think we saw two guys that were asked so damn much in the last 2 years here that's why we saw them sloppy at times. That's why we saw them not finish games the way they should have finished. I think with the Nets, I think they have a really good thing going on. I really do. I think somebody's going to go down for Miami.
Is this year LeBron gets hurt?
No, he won't get hurt.
Will he ever get hurt?
Nope. I don't think he'll ever get hurt.
A knee, an ankle?
I think he's too smart. I think there's players that are just, they play smart.
Yeah.
You know, and people may criticize certain people. Like, people say, why doesn't LeBron drive to the hole every time? Because he knows he's going to get hit. You don't want to get hit on every single play.
He does take it to the hole a lot.
There's a reason. He takes it to the hole a lot, but at the same time, people say, why are you taking it to the hole again? Because they know he's unstoppable. There's a reason why D. Wade got hurt so much, and it is hurt so much, and it's because he was used to hitting the pavement every time he went to the hole.
The hard floor, the hardwood.
Isn't it the pavement?
Well, the pavement's like driveway, like cement. So if he was playing in Auburn, he'd hit the pavement. But anyways,
English is my second language.
No, it's okay. You're doing a good job.
But like Manny running out to first, he knew that if he tried to run any faster, he would just get hurt. Same thing with Ortiz. Those guys aren't made for speed.
Did you see Phoenix? The Suns revealed their new home and away and alternate uniform or jerseys.
No, you're big on uniforms. I never follow that.
I always liked Phoenix's logo, colors.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You would.
But these new jerseys, they kind of look WNBA-ish.
Oh God.
And I think one of the alternates that they have now, they have sleeves. You know, you see the Warriors last year.
Hideous.
Yeah, it's different.
Don't like it.
Why? Why?
I have no idea. I mean, I can understand if the WNBA went to like sports bras, which would be nice. But
you'd probably watch more. I'd watch more.
I don't know if I would because those girls.
Brittany Griner in a sports bar.
I think she would look the same. I don't think she's a woman.
She might not. No, she's a woman.
Okay, who has a more manly voice, Jackie Bradley? Or
Jackie
Brittany
Bradley Jr.?
Yeah. Or Brittany Griner.
Well, Jackie, okay, I see what you're saying, but...
I mean, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But hey, beats me.
Are you staying up for these games? I know the Sox are on the West Coast. They got the Giants now. Then they're going to catch the Dodgers at the right time. The Dodgers seem to be going on a little bit soon. We've got like 5 minutes left.
Which means they'll probably bounce back against the Sox.
About 5 minutes left. So I need your thoughts. If the playoffs were to start today, what are your predictions for the rest of the season for baseball? Because who knows the next time we're going to get together to talk? It may be the end of August. It may be mid-September. Who knows? Because it's been 3 weeks since we talked last on a podcast.
It's crazy, huh?
If it flies.
It's
ridiculous.
Right,
who wins the AL East?
Tampa.
Who wins the Central? Detroit.
I mean, that's too easy.
How about the West between Texas and Oakland?
That is so hard. I feel like Oakland can steal it.
Yeah.
I really do.
So you've got Tampa, Detroit, Oakland. So who are your two wild card teams?
Red Sox, Yankees.
No Rangers? Rangers fall off, you think?
Well, we were talking about how the Yankees are going to go on a big run.
So you're saying the Indians and the Royals are going to just fade away?
Yeah, I don't believe in either team.
Because I think the Indians and Royals
I think those two teams benefited from playing a lot of teams that just sucked early on anyway.
How about the National League? The Braves have the East locked up. Unless they have
that must be, you must be jumping up and down because you've been predicting the Braves are going to win the World Series for the last 12 years.
And this is the 1 year where I predicted the Tigers would beat the Nationals, so I'm a little disappointed. But so the Braves will win the East. How about the Central? You got 3 teams there. All 3 teams could win it. The Reds, the Pirates, and the Cardinals. The Pirates. They're going to finish over 500 this year.
I want the Pirates to win it.
I'd like to see the Pirates. I love seeing
their stadium, first of all.
Beautiful stadium.
Oh, God.
But when it's full, it looks even better.
Yeah, I like seeing their stadium. Now, I threw this at you earlier. Not today, but a few days ago.
Who wins the division?
The Pirates do.
Oh, you Pirates? Okay.
Yeah. Red Sox, Dodgers World Series.
Well, dude, you're getting ahead of... You got to work with me here, man.
Man.
So you're saying the Dodgers win the West?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so who gets in for a wild card? You Cardinals and the Reds?
Cardinals get in.
For a wild card?
They need Molina to step it up.
So I think the Cardinals and Reds are going to get in as the wild card teams.
Love their uniforms, by the way. Love red in baseball. I love the red.
Ooh, the Cardinals.
Jerseys, yeah.
Cardinals are classic. So you're fast forwarding to my question of
World Series.
Red Sox Dodgers. Josh Beckett comes back.
I could care less about Josh Beckett. I enjoy watching both teams. I think the huge trade last year, both teams kind of stunk last year.
Yep.
It would be nice to see from a national perspective.
East Coast, West Coast.
Oh man, I think it'll be one of the most watched World Series in baseball history, by far. By far. I think it will be.
Who wins?
Clayton Kershaw. I mean, wow.
Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, Ricky Nolasco. Who the hell else do they have?
What I think the Red Sox are not bringing in Sander Bogarts up just for the heck of bringing him up. I think they realize they need a right-handed bat.
Is he their Yasiel Puig? Is he that type of player? I don't know much about Bogarts.
I don't want him to be that type of player. I want him to be at least average a home run a game. Wouldn't that be nice?
No big expectations or anything. He's starting at short tonight.
And see, now that makes me wait for that particular game.
I'll watch tonight.
I want to see him play. I've never seen him play, but you hear so much about him. Now, going back to Robinson Cano.
I hope he's not wearing like 87 or something. That will drive me nuts. I hope they give him a real number.
Probably 54.
Number 10. I think 10's open.
That would bother me one bit.
It would drive me nuts. Anyways, go ahead.
How about if they give him number 5?
Johnny Gomes is wearing 5
right
now.
They'll switch it.
Who was wearing 10? Somebody was wearing 10. They just got rid of him.
Okay, so Robinson Cano. You asked me a question early on about Robinson Cano. Either the Yankees or the L.A. could be the only team to sign.
Is wearing number 10. Sorry. Go ahead.
He's going to be a superstar, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's going to be a good player. Robinson Cano.
He is signed by the Dodgers next year.
Yep.
Hanley is going to be let go.
You know what? You see him the other night? Error to lose the game?
I didn't see. I know he made an error to lose the game.
He zones out, man. He zones out.
No, he does. Very often. And now I think Yasiel Puig has been good for him because if you notice, it's one of these things where, Daisuke, unconditional release.
Yeah, he made 19 starts this season in AAA.
Wow. So.
Isn't that crazy?
Nuts. Yeah. Now.
Sox should pick him up.
They should. Hanley, why not?
No, I'm saying Daisuke.
No. Hanley next year.
No. I don't want Hanley. I want nothing to do with Hanley.
Why?
I don't like him and he's up there with Jose Reyes. I don't want either of those guys anywhere near the Red Sox.
Why not Jose Reyes?
I can't stand Jose Reyes.
You've never been able to like Jose Reyes.
I can't stand him.
And I don't know why.
I can't stand him. I never really liked him, but then to end the season a few years ago when he bunted and took himself out of the game to win the batting title, I don't know, man. Something about that guy rubs me the wrong way.
A lot of people don't like him.
Actually, he's a great guy personally.
No. I mean, I've actually heard some things about him personally that he's not a nice guy.
Yeah.
What up, Lee?
All right. Well, we're getting close to 60 minutes. Do you have anything else you want to talk about real quick before we sign off? I'll see you Sunday for the fantasy football draft. Don't be nervous. It is live. We do have to pick our players in front of everybody else,
which is pretty scary considering that. I've always considered football a very barbaric sport in my country. But hey, we'll see how that goes.
It'll be fun.
I'll bring my iPad.
It'll be a couple hours.
I can bring an iPad, right? And
yeah, you use the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I've got Wi-Fi, so you can use that.
I'll pretend that I know what I'm doing.
All I'm going to recommend is you bring a pen. Actually, I'll print out extra sheets, but you got to just cross off the names when someone drafts them. It's not rapid fire. Somebody picks, and it's a couple minutes in between. So it's not like
It's not like, Greg, you have a minute left.
No.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
If you're taking 10
Scott Zolak.
If you're taking 10 minutes, then we'll hurry up. But
no, I won't take that long. Maybe 5.
All right. Any last words?
Nothing. I mean, it's been a pleasure
that was a quick
to
hour.
be back here. I got all dressed up to come in.
Yeah, Greg is wearing a shirt and tie. So I wish you... Do you have a jacket with that outfit?
No.
That's not a suit?
No.
Really?
It's a shame, right?
You had me fooled. I figured there's a jacket somewhere.
There is a jacket for these bands, but not with me.
At your house?
No, at the store.
You just bought the pants?
Yeah, could not afford the jacket.
Really?
Yeah.
You could afford the jacket.
Well, not at that time.
Well, you should go back and buy the jacket.
I can't find it now.
Would you ever wear a jacket?
It was a couple of years ago.
But when you meet with people now, do you wear jackets?
Once in a while. It all depends. If they're young, I try to bring myself down to somewhat their level and make it
wear
very
like
personal.
a backwards cap with like Nikes and stuff.
Not necessarily. I'll put my Air Max on with my slacks. No, I mean it all depends really. I'm big on judging from afar. Age groups, demographics, all of those things.
You Google people before you meet with them, like go on their Facebook and see what they're up to? Or
no, I actually do a background check depending on how much information I have.
Oh yeah, you have all that info. You can access.
Yeah, look at their registry record. Look at all that stuff. Just kidding. I take that back. I can actually get in a lot of trouble for saying that.
Wheeze and Jill got engaged. I don't know if you know.
I saw that. I actually liked their engagement announcement on Facebook. So is it for Mike that we're going to go to Vegas?
Yeah, I don't
know. Am I going to be invited to that particular bachelor party?
Greg, I don't know.
I mean, I invited all of them to your bachelor party, and it was pretty damn good.
That was a good time.
It was a pretty good time.
Yeah. No, I'll have to. I don't know. I don't know what any of those guys are doing.
No, okay. I'll talk to Mike. Mike and I get along. I mean, he is with Liberty Mutual. Not with me. He actually picked another agent, but hey, that's his prerogative.
It happens.
All right.
Well, hey, this is for Greg and Eric. We're signing off, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Later.